That's what I hope you do. Die on the floor in the penitentiary, Dal. You killed my brother. It wasn't self-defense. If there was any kind of self-defense, you would have got up on that stand and went ahead and said something about yourself or something like that, but instead you cowered down.
A sex offender, a serial killer, carjacker, a robber. Zacharie Scott Borton has done it all. He's been charged with triple homicide, shocking the small town. The victims, Delmar Eugene Fraley, 80, and Michael George Pauley, 70, died from gunshot wounds. Their bodies were found early on Sunday morning on Fishville Road in Grass Lake Township.
I wish I would have met you before this. This probably wouldn't have happened. I would have put a talk. I would have put 2 cents in your ear. I was a part of the United States Army. You think I'd be afraid of you? Other people was? I will take your head off, boy.
Borton's troubled history makes this case even darker. He's a registered sex offender and has spent time in prison for crimes like car theft and robbery. Jackson County Sheriff Gary Shute confirmed that Borton had ties to a prison gang, although investigators are still unsure how involved he really was and whether the gang played a part in the murders. And what's more surprising is that he controlled the investigation without breaking a sweat. Borton sat alone in the interrogation room, left with nothing but his thoughts. The silence was heavy, and time felt like it was dragging, making the wait even harder for him.
Zacharie.
Yeah.
Hi, Zach. I'm Brian. Nice to meet you. You guys need something, just let us know, okay? I'm a detective from Jackson County, so I just want to talk to you a little bit just to get your side of the story. I always know there's 2 sides to every story.
Detective Brain then entered, calmly introduced himself, and told Borton that there are always 2 sides to a story. Right away, the questioning began.
Used against you in the court of law, you have the right to an attorney, to a lawyer, and have him present with you before or during any questioning. If you want a lawyer but cannot afford one will be appointed to represent you at public expense. If you read real well. If you waive your right to remain silent and later wish to stop answering questions, the questions will stop. If you waive your right to have a lawyer present and later change your mind, the questioning will stop until you have talked with your lawyer. Do you understand your rights?
I understand.
Given these rights in mind, are you agreeing with talking with me today?
Yeah, as long as I get to see my wife. I mean, I'm not going to talk.
I'll do it as long as Grand Rapids cooperates with that. I have no issue.
All right, I'm not going to talk until I hug her though, because I know how that goes. Like, I mean, she could say, you could say I can try to do whatever I can. You already got statements.
Well, where is she at right now?
She's in Grand Rapids, not too far from me.
Okay.
We talked, so I mean, the detective, or not, I don't know if it was an officer that was sent by the detective, told her that they can make sure that we can hug and we can say bye to each other and stuff.
Can you take my word on it if I talk with him?
I'm not going to confess to nothing until
I understand that. Will you take my word that I'll get you a hug and get you to talk to her if I can get them to agree to it? I don't know that I can get her right this second here.
Well, I'm just saying I'm not going to, I mean, how does that work? I mean, you can say anything, I mean, but, you know what I mean? It's not, that's like we're at a standoff because, like, I could say anything and then it's like, oh, well, I tried. Or they said they were going to, but this, you know what I mean? So that's the only thing that's important to me is I know my life's over.
Okay.
So I want to hug my wife goodbye. I want to give her a kiss. I want to talk to her for a minute. And they already said I could do that. Okay. That was one of the reasons I came in cooperatively. Okay. So, I mean, I just want that. And once that's fulfilled, so I know I'm not being bullshitted because that's already been told to me. My wife's not going to lie. They said that I can hug you and see you with that.
I totally 100% believe that, and I totally will tell you that I would let you do that.
Well, I mean, I believe you would. I'm just saying, I don't think much.
Let me see if I can get that arranged.
All right, thank you.
Borton was read his rights, something he was very familiar with due to his long criminal past. Back in 1994, he had been convicted in Jackson County for car theft, armed robbery, and carrying a firearm during a felony. Even before that, he had been caught trying to break into cars in North Carolina. Later, in Hillsdale County, he racked up more charges, including unarmed robbery, fraud, and third-degree criminal sexual conduct with a minor between 13 and 15 years old. He was only 18 when that last crime happened, and it made him a registered sex offender for life.
When they get there, they're gonna see if she's willing to come here.
All right.
Okay, that's where that's at.
Absolutely.
in the meantime, can we talk?
I mean, I'll answer a few questions, let you guys know I'm not bullshitting, but I'm not gonna get a confession or tell you guys everything.
That's fine.
That's fine. And as soon as she gets here, as soon as they get him, she gets here, he'll bring her in. Even if we're no matter where we're at the questioning.
Well, I'm not gonna answer too many questions.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I have nothing. You guys gotta realize this, and I'm just being 100. That's all I am. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm not gonna bullshit you guys. I keep it shoot. I'm a straight shooter. You guys can make my life hell. You can't. Whatever. It doesn't do nothing to me right now. My life's over. You understand?
Why do you feel your life's over?
Listen, I'm not answering that question. Okay.
Okay.
I know my wife's over. So all I'm saying is, there's one thing I want, because I won't be able to touch my wife again, is to give my wife a hug and talk to her. That's all. That's the only thing that's grounded me for this whole little process I've been going through. And then I had no problem going back until a year from now and telling you every little thing I've done and didn't do. It doesn't matter. One charge or a million charges, I'm over.
What's up?
It seems like they're still working on it. Go ahead.
Whether you guys charge me with one charge and I'm found guilty of it, or I get found guilty of 50 charges, it's the same amount of time, it's the same amount of time for me. So it makes me no difference. It could pass to stealing a candy bar from Myers or to killing something. It doesn't matter. I'm going to do the same amount of time in prison. See what I'm saying? So that's all I wanted you guys to realize.
Got a text, like I told you, says, we'll see if she wants to come in. They're on their way there now.
Okay.
So, only thing Brian was thinking, and then we were thinking is, we doesn't do, we're going to send somebody there. They're already on their way. As soon as they get there, we'll have an answer. If she says no, what do you want me to do?
She's not going to say no.
Okay.
But if she does, then I mean, I guess she needs to tell me that I can call her.
Well, we can do it over the phone.
We can do it over the phone.
You can't hug her over the phone, but
that's right. That's the only thing that's important. You guys understand? I'm going through a thing, and my wife and I have been separated for like 9-10 months now, and we're on that verge of probably divorce. Probably gonna get divorced after this, and we haven't been on good terms. We finally start talking and stuff. And that's the only thing that's important to me. I don't care if I can confess to nothing, pull a lawyer up, and I can just go through it like that. I have no problem with that either. I'm just saying, if I can benefit out of it, because to me, it's one and the same. Whether I get found guilty of fucking stealing a candy bar at Myers 10 years ago or what, it doesn't matter. I'm going to do the same amount of time. I've got 15 fucking felonies. So I'm definitely, whatever I get found guilty, it doesn't matter to me if it's a murder charge or if it's a gun charge or if it's a shooting in my wife's house charge. I mean, any of that stuff. It doesn't matter to me. I don't have a problem confessing all of it, because to me, it's just going to get it over with faster anyway. But at the same time, I got one thing, that's my wife. You know what I'm saying? I didn't get to hug her goodbye, I didn't get to kiss her goodbye yesterday, today. That's all I want to do. And make sure we're going to be all right, and that's it. And I don't care about any of the other stuff. All the other stuff's irrelevant. You know what I mean? After that, it's like...
As the interrogation started, Borton's emotions quickly boiled over, especially when the detective brought up his wife. He made it clear he wasn't planning to confess and knew he was in serious trouble. Though he chatted a little, he stayed stubborn and didn't cooperate much. The detective realized he needed a different approach.
Stand up if you want.
Stand up. Hi, Papas. Hi, Papas. I can't play it. Daddy have kisses? Oh, that's a good kiss. You playing your game?
Aww.
Is that a good hope? Hi, Papas. Aww.
Yeah, Daddy.
Good daddy kisses. Thank you. Getting so big.
Yeah.
Loving our mommy. You loving our mommy? Come on. Can Daddy get a little love? Can Daddy get a little love? Get it. Oh. Daddy loves you. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Hello. I love you, silly guy.
Alright, guys, I hate to break it up, but we gotta do it now.
Alright. Thank you, guys.
Go ahead.
Bye, Papa. Bye. Bye, Mamas.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome. He's a cute little dude.
The detective then brought Borton's wife and child into the room. The family reunion didn't last long, but it had a major effect. As soon as they left, Borton's face changed. It seemed he fully realized what he had done. Up until then, he had been cold and distant, but seeing his family might have changed everything. The detective knew that appealing to Borton's emotions was going to be crucial.
Thank you.
25 years and never done anything like that. All right.
Plus,
We're men of our words, so I wish I could make it happen longer, but unfortunately we can't.
That's all I ask for. Thank you very much. I'm very appreciative of that.
He didn't want to kill two birds with one stone, so if you could send a detective in on your incident, or you guys all set?
I'll have him step in.
Okay.
We're just gonna escort her out, make sure she gets back to her truck safely and things like that, and then he'll pop back in here, okay? I don't know if she knows where she's at or where she's going down here, but we want to make sure that she gets in her truck and on her way, so he'll be right back.
All right, thank you.
I think your guy talked to her already, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You want to get started on our?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Let me just go through this. I know we talked about it once before. Of course, I don't have my reading glasses, so this is a challenge. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have him present with you before or during questioning. If you want a lawyer but cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you to represent you at public expense. If you waive your right to remain silent and later wish to stop answering questions, the questions will stop. Just let me know. If you waive your right to have a lawyer present and later change your mind, the questioning will stop until you have talked with that lawyer. Do you understand these rights?
Yeah.
Okay. Are we okay to talk?
Yeah.
Okay. So tell me what happened with the on Fishville.
Polak had been like, that's Mike. He had been high. I think he smoked crack or something. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
But he was like noised out, and he kept coming in the back bedroom where I was staying and like waving a pistol around and saying, "Who's in here? Who are you talking to?" Oh, somebody's in here. And then like the second or third time, I mean, I kind of got insulted because it was more like, if I want to have somebody in, I'd have somebody in here.
Which bedroom are you talking about?
If you go in the front door, there's a bedroom. So back right by the fireplace or whatever, there's a bedroom right there to the right. You know what I'm talking about? And then to the left, there's a like a, I guess it'd be a front room, a big ass front room.
It's almost like a family room.
Yep. And then so in the bedroom right there on the right, when you first go in, that's the only other bedroom behind the main floor. And so he kept waving the pistol. He'd come in with the pistol, he wouldn't wave it, like then point it at me. Like at one point, I think like the second time he came in or something, he kind of waved it towards me. I was like, don't point a fucking pistol at me or some shit. It's just kind of like a guy's like back and forth.
You know what kind of pistol it was?
Yeah, it was 38.
Okay.
So he comes in there with that, and he's like kind of waving it around.
What was you upset about? Because you had somebody.
Well, he thought I had somebody in there, but I didn't. And then I found out like the third time. I want to say it was the third time he came. He kept coming in there like, "Who's in here?" And I was like, "What the fuck?" Maybe 15, 20 minutes. "Who's in here?" I'd be half asleep, and I'm like, so like the third time or something, he's like, "I know she's in here." I said, "Who the fuck are you talking about?" And he said, "Yeah," which is like a girl that comes there every once in a while. It's she's messing with another biker or whatever, whatever. But he's kind of like her. He's kind of like infatuated with her, like kind of like want to look after. I don't know, like some weird thing.
Right after seeing his family, Borton started talking. Their visit seemed to snap him out of his cold attitude. He suddenly became more clear-headed and less defensive, marking a turning point in the interrogation.
Just kind of like sweeping the ground to see if like who was out there, if anybody was out there or anything like that. And then I went, once we figured out there was nobody out there, of course. I go back in, it'll take me probably not too long to get back to sleep because it was really late at this time. And I hear like two distinct gunshots downstairs. But that was after I heard a bang. I think that's what woke me up, like a, I don't know, like a bang, it wasn't a gunshot, but it was like a crash. And then I hear gunshots. I want to say 2 to 3. I want to say 2, then the third. Like it was like 2 and then 3. And by that time, I had a gun. I kept it, a 40 cal. And jumped out of bed with the 40 cal and cocked it. Like door entrance, and he had a pistol, he had a 38 in his hand, and he said, "Motherfucker, I'm gonna kill you." And I thought he was talking about me. Mm-hmm. So I shot him twice or 3 times maybe.
He was coming in the door. You shot.
Yeah, he was coming in the front door. And then he was yelling like something like "Motherfucker, I'll kill you." Like he was agitated for sure, and he had the pistol like drawn up, and so I shot him, and then.
So 3 times?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
It happened kind of fast and in slow motion, like at the same time, like it was all like kind of a blur. So I shot him, and then like after I shot, it was a gun, but it wasn't. After I looked closer, I just know it wasn't a gun. He was coming out of the back, and so I turned towards him and shot him, or at him rather. I don't know if I hit him the first time because he turned. And when he turned to like kind of get away, I kind of ran back towards him. And then I don't know if he was trying to raise the gun or what he was trying to do, but I shot him again. That was the one that was in the doorway. And then but it was kind of like far. I don't know, I'm trying to make it make sense. Because it all happened like a blur, like so fast. And then I remember shooting was in his hand or whatever, and then recognizing that it wasn't a gun. And then like panicking, like looking around and being like, what the fuck? Oh my God, what the fuck? Now all my clothes and all that stuff in the back room, but I didn't, like I was just thinking like, I was gonna panic, like what the fuck? So I went to run downstairs to see what the gunshots or whatever was downstairs. And that kind of fucked me up. And so I was like fucked up behind that. I ran and, I ran back upstairs. Up, like kind of like panicking, like I don't know. And I went up the stairs. She wasn't there, which kind of baffled me. And I didn't have no cover.
What was this? Yeah,
that's the one that was there with me.
Yeah.
And I didn't have no ride or nothing, so I went back down. Keys or whatever off the table, and took his truck and just like drove away. And then after I got a little ways away or whatever, I called my wife and just told her that it was, just trying to talk to her and stuff. And I didn't tell her what I did. I just told her I did something bad and that I didn't know what to do, and that he already shot somebody. He was gonna shoot at me, or he shot at me, or something like that.
Borton went on to describe what happened during the shooting, admitting that he fired several shots at the victims.
In the front door. I'm not, like I said, I wasn't there, I wasn't sure. I just know I heard a bang, but it wasn't a gun bang.
Okay.
And then I heard, for sure 2, like at least 2, I want to say 2 and then a third, like a 2 and then a pause and then a third gunshot.
Do you think he knew what he was doing, or do you think he was like wigging out and thought it was someone broken?
Well, he'd been wigging out the whole, you know what I'm saying? He'd been wigging out like the whole night. He'd been like.
So you think he didn't know?
All blur, like I didn't think. That's when I first heard the noise, what's going on, and then I just kind of like, I seen that he was like on the steps to go down to his house. So I left right. I went right back upstairs because the side door is right there, like where they push you out to the driveway. I left the door. I went out to go check on him, and I seen almost immediately. You know what I mean? Like I seen that he was on the steps. So I ran back upstairs to see.
So was he all the way up the top of the steps, or was he like halfway up?
I want to say like mid-step.
Okay.
I don't think he was all.
Was he conscious or?
No, he wasn't conscious. Like he had his face was opened up and stuff. You can tell he got shot close. I don't know.
Borton tried to claim he acted in self-defense, saying he woke up to gunfire from his roommates. He said he might have confused a pipe for a gun in the chaos. However, police didn't find any weapons or pipes near the bodies, making his story hard to believe, especially since the house was known for meth activity. His explanation just didn't add up.
I'd say maybe 9 o'clock.
Did you pass any police officers like in the area? Were we getting in the area, or did we get there quick?
I took right off. I panicked and just took. I was trying to get out of there. And
Did you go north out of there, or?
I went when you turn off the driveway, you go right.
Okay.
So you go down that way, and I remember taking a left, and I honestly couldn't tell you what direction I drove after that because I was just like befuddled. I was fucked up. I waited for a little while, then I called my wife, and she kind of grounded me a little bit.
Mm-hmm. When you got to Grand Rapids, were at 9 o'clock or so, where did you go?
Tried to go to his mom's house, and she wasn't home. And I tried to go to one of our mutual friends' house, and he wasn't home.
It was Sunday, for God's sake. Where was everybody at? Church?
I was thinking the same thing. It was early too. It was 10, probably 10, because I sat there and talked to my wife for like an hour in the parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
Then this is after I went to Kent home, and then was that after or before? No, it was before.
So then when you went all those three places, nobody's home, where did you end up?
Right where you guys found me at, on 2nd Street.
Okay.
3rd Street. No. I went to a car park first on Post Drive. Parked there, but there's a lot of traffic coming in and out. So, I didn't want to stay there. So I ended up going, to...
Did you tell him what happened?
No. I just told him I needed to chill for a while. I needed to just get some sleep or somewhere peaceful. And he was like, "What's up?" And I told him I didn't want to talk about it. And he said, "Okay."
And did you tell your wife what you did?
No.
Okay. Just what'd you tell her?
I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't want to get her in any trouble.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, anything to do with it.
The detective hit a rough patch during questioning. Although Borton became more willing to talk after seeing his family, he refused to answer one question. The detective didn't push him, worried that pressuring Borton might shut him down completely. Instead, he let Borton control the pace, hoping to get more information later without forcing it.
He seems like a pretty decent dude. He happened to be, they were all hanging out at like the place north of there, right next door. He's part of.
Oh, talking about the house north of there.
Yeah.
Talking about old girl's dad's house.
Yeah. He's part of it. He's in their club too, or
Talking about.
It was just north of there.
Oh.
He's not part of the club. Oh, okay. He led me to believe he was.
No, he's not.
Is he full of shit?
Yeah. He
claims he. Like, well, why haven't you told us? Oh, it was so dark I couldn't see who did it.
Right.
Okay. He was kind of full of himself. And a little bit. He seemed pretty down to earth guy. Is that a pretty decent club? I mean, motorcycle clubs you hear are kind of rough, but those guys all seem pretty decent.
I mean, besides just having drug habits, that's about it. They didn't really cause no problems or have any like real beat. I mean, there's people coming out there, but it's mostly because the girls they protected, not them. You know what I mean? It's like girls that have problems with guys that come out there and then make sure the guys stay away from them or whatever.
So we did recover some rounds in each one of the individuals. We found some casings. A 38 is probably not going to eject a casing. It's typically a revolver. I'm assuming that was a revolver. So we'll be able to match up. And so especially now that we do have, they did recover a couple of guns over to your buddies. It's the bulk of the guns that you had there. You said they were behind a
blue, like futon, like
both of them. Yeah, that's where they found at least the 40, and I'm assuming they said they found 2 guns.
They were wrapped up together. So.
Okay. So, anything else you can add, or anything you want to add?
I mean, not that I can think of, like right now. Like it's still like blurring in my mind now. I'm just trying to like replay that shit. It's just like.
I bet. And pretty much everything you told me appears to be pretty accurate. Obviously, we were in the belief, and I don't know that we're not in the belief. Ballistics would tell us that.
Oh, absolutely.
They'll tell us if your gun wasn't used, and I got to think that.
Right.
Because I would think that you probably had the 40 would. I don't know why you would have. I mean, I guess it's possible you could have used both guns, but it would be unusual.
Right.
Can you agree with that? How many times do you think you shot altogether?
I mean, I know I emptied the clip.
Okay. Did you reload?
No.
Okay. Did you have additional magazines?
No, I think I had the one bullet that's left in there. That was for me, and then that was it.
Okay. So your thought was you were going to at some point use that on you, that last bullet? Yeah. Well, I'm glad
It was
you're...
mostly just to shoot in the air and have you guys shoot me. I'm trying to kill myself before I have enough guts to do it.
Yeah. Well, for your son's sake and your wife's sake, more importantly your son's sake, I'm glad you didn't do that.
Yeah, I know.
Because your son will be able to see you. He'll be able to come at some point. I don't know how prison works, but obviously you do. But I would think at some point he's going to be able to come visit you.
Oh, yeah.
Do they let him when they're young?
Yeah.
Well, for his sake, he's not going to know any different initially.
Yeah.
Anything I can help you with? Because like I said, I do appreciate your honesty, your cooperation. You could have made this difficult for me, and you didn't, and I appreciate that.
There's going to be things you probably need as far as like little details or little questions you have, and I'm fine with all that. I already know there's no snitching, nothing. I'm not snitching on nobody myself.
No, you're right. There's probably going to be one or two things I didn't think to ask today, and you're cool with me coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Like I said, as long as like you guys have held up your end, like with bringing my wife in here and doing what you said, and he went and orders the pizza and all that. So I'm just a man of my word. If it's upheld on both ends, and how our relationship right now is how it'll always be unless you change it.
Sure.
That's just the truth.
Yeah.
I won't ever change it because I have no reason to.
I have no reason to change it either.
And so that's just it's just. But yeah, I know you.
Just when the first detective was about to end the interview, another detective walked in and said there was pizza. This gave the detectives more time to ask a few extra questions. The new detective's arrival brought fresh energy to the room.
In the presence of the lawyer before adjourning any questioning. If you wish a lawyer and cannot afford one, the court will appoint one before any questions. You understand your rights?
Yep.
Okay. Just like we were read before, right?
Yep.
All right. My watch turned off. I'm going to be brief because I'm not, we were listening, I was listening, I've been in here talking, and you've been straight up. I got a question for you. Do you remember, you actually alluded to it earlier. You said, I shot all her windows and her slider and everything like that. Can you tell me about how that happened?
We were going through this custody thing with divorce and
Okay.
going through not divorce, but a custody, a battle with it. And, when we first separated, she gave me full custody of my son. I had him for 6-8 months, something like that. And then she took him, and then when I had a warrant for, I thought I had a warrant for domestic or something, and she got a temporary order of relief, and then she wouldn't let me see him, and I hadn't seen him for 2 months. I hadn't seen my son, and so I tried to get into her glass door of her house, the back door, and then I couldn't get in. I seen the camera in this corner, so I shot towards the floor and shot the camera out.
All right.
Or what I thought was the camera out.
What did you shoot?
A 9mm.
9mm.
Yeah.
And what did you use to try to get in the door?
A crowbar.
Remember where the... Nobody was hurt?
No.
Did you ever get in?
No.
Just shot the windows?
There was just that one window, yeah.
Window? Okay.
Yeah. That was after I broke it with a crowbar first, though.
Broke it with a crowbar first and shot it.
Yeah.
Is that 9mm one of the same ones that was used? Do you know where that gun is?
No, I don't know right offhand where it's at.
Okay. And, any idea?
Somewhere in Branch County.
Branch?
Yeah.
How come Branch County?
Just that's where I was messing around out there, and I gave it to one of the guys out there when I got my 40 cal.
Okay. So you traded, basically.
I'd had the 40 cal for a while, and I was like, want to keep this 9, let me keep this 40 cal. He said, all right.
All right. Fair enough. Can you tell me what happened? You were driving an Excursion, and Amanda had an Explorer, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me what happened.
It happened right around the same time. It was she had my son, I hadn't seen him. I was pulling into a park to go smoke a blunt, roll a blunt up, and she was coming out of the park. I knew she'd be in that area usually because she exchanged kids with her other baby daddy at that time or whatever. So I used to be in that neighborhood a lot, just kind of like seeing if I could catch her or something with my son. Because we was playing mostly like snatching at that point. She didn't have a temper, she didn't have a custody order or nothing. So it's like whoever has custody of him has custody of him. If you leave him at a babysitter and I come and get him, then I got custody, which is fucked up to him, you know. But I hadn't seen him, so I seen her and I seen that the baby seat in the back, so I kind of like ran her off the road. And because I was gonna try to get him out of the truck, you know, steal my son back. But people started calling out and stuff, and I took off.
Right. Did you ram the vehicles?
Yeah, I ran.
Yeah.
So that's why I got her off the road. I hit the front of her vehicle and pushed her to the side.
Okay. Those are the only ones I was going to touch base on. I don't even know. I don't even know if they're worth it. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie to you. You know the totality. You know the enormity of what's going on. I know you said. Did you tell? I literally the pizzas were here. Did you tell them where the guns are?
Yeah.
Where are they?
Wrapped together in a black shirt.
Yep.
I told him the car was there too, but he said you guys already knew.
We already knew where the guns were too. I already knew. You'll find that he and I usually ask questions that we already know the answers to.
I mean, that's what I do too. That's what I tell them online too.
Bam. Before, I'm not just going to come in here, ask 10 questions and leave. Is there anything else you feel like you want to get off your chest?
Is there any more charges? Is that 2 charges? And is that the only charges I got, I think?
No, I can tell you this. I don't know everything. I know you got some previous warrants.
Okay.
And some of them are for some of this, and I don't know everything. I honestly haven't run what all your warrants are.
Okay.
But I can tell you that at this point, my sergeant, me, this sergeant, kind of made a determination that the most important thing to address currently would be what happened in Jackson.
Unlike the first detective, the second one was serious and tough. He wasn't worried about time and asked Borton harder, more direct questions. The atmosphere became tense as he dug deeper into the case. After some intense questioning, he finally ended the interrogation. Borton was then given the pizza and allowed to relax a little. After confessing during the interrogation, Zacharie Borton was sentenced to 2 life sentences without the chance of parole. Judge McBain told Borton, "You're going to go in the front door of the reception and guidance center. All things being equal, they'll take you out in a black bag on the way out." What are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments down below.